The wind just let up, and boy, I tell you what, it was howling, and it's a little chilly. Well, I guess it's not chilly for many of you, but right now, I think it's in the high 60s. There's not a lot of people here, but there are a number of fishermen, and as I'll show you, the lake is really low. I don't know what it normally looks like, but it's certainly low now. It does afford us the opportunity to drive along the shore and be able to pick out a campsite. I'm using the teepee tent, and as I said, Jorah's with me. I just wanted to revisit the teepee tent because we've been using this thing now. I think my first video on it was, gosh, about 2 years ago, and we've had lots of interest, lots of questions, and actually I think we've had about close to 50,000 views, so it's a popular topic. But I do think it's a good time to answer some more questions, but I'm going to get out of this wind. Let's get inside. Well, it's a lot better in here. Still a little dippy outside, so I just turned on Mr. Buddy, or Mr. Heater, my buddy, to warm the place up, and it does a pretty good job of that, doesn't it, Jorah? Doesn't it? He's not too excited about this, I don't think. I brought his little kennel so that he would be able to feel more at home. I don't even know what happened to the door to it. We never put him in it. He just goes in all by himself. Anyway, as I said, we're out at a lake, a reservoir. It's called Bartlett Lake, near Carefree, or yeah, I think it's Carefree, Arizona. Northern part of the metropolitan complex of cities. And I read that the fishing was pretty good, and I think it might be better just rather than from shore. I haven't even tried it. It's just too darn windy right now. So I think we'll maybe try it tomorrow. Our plan is to be here for 2 days, 2 nights, 3 days. And we'll see. It's pretty cozy in here. Oh, we were talking about the teepee tent. I've had a number of questions. We've had this tent now for 3 or 2 years. Two summer seasons in Montana and 2 winter seasons here in Arizona. I like the tent. It's cheap. Ozark Trail, 7-man teepee tent. Must be 7 very small men. For myself, using a cot, and Jorah, we got all sorts of room. There's plenty of room in here for 2 cots, and with a side table and a chair or so, that's about it. I've been doing a lot of camping lately in my truck topper, which I have fixed up pretty well, and it's a lot easier using that. The one thing about setting up the teepee tent is that you have to do just that. You have to set it up. It's not too bad, and as you can see, or maybe not, but will when I show you around a little bit more, there's no center pole. It's a V shape, and I did a pretty good, I think, review of the tent earlier. If you want to check out some of my videos, there's a number of them where we've used the tent and I've revisited and answered questions about it. People have commented that they're a lousy tent, they get wet. Well, I have not had any problem with water at all, and I've been in some really heavy rain. Not here in Arizona, but in Montana we've certainly been in some rain. And I've never had any water except one time when I left the door open on the bottom, and it rained hard that night and ran down into the floor inside. But that was my error. Mark it up to a Papa Bruce mistake in that category. So I have had no problem. I did notice when I got the tent, once I got it set up and I went inside, it was seam sealed on the inside. I seam sealed the outside, now realizing it was already seam sealed on the inside, and maybe that's helped, but no problem. They say, people have said that, aren't they cheap and flimsy? Yeah, they are. But we've had pretty hard use. The first summer in Montana, it set up all summer long and was used sort of as a spare bedroom for visitors, grandkids, or whoever else I might talk into spending some time there. And it worked out well. It's held up okay. I mean, for a $50 tent, yeah, it's done just fine. People have asked me, do the windows leak? And the answer is no. The way they open on the inside, you can see it zips down, then there's the screen. But when you zip it up, this part, the outside, overlaps the inside, and there's no problem. Now, for winter, what I think would be handy is to close these. See the one above my head here, with some Velcro, maybe 2 or 3 pieces, so that the wind didn't come in like it is, but it really doesn't seem to affect it too much. They're sturdy. It's a relatively sturdy tent. I think that has a lot to do with the size. As I recall, somewhere I read that the shape, the teepee shape itself, the physics of the shape allow the wind to go around it, I guess. I don't know. But it stands up fine in the wind. It can be noisy, but any of them can. Condensation. It's a single wall tent. So if it's really cold out and you have heat going inside, sure, there'll be some condensation. But not much. I think the top is vented. There's 3 vents up there. And let's see, move the camera a little bit and see up on the top. It's 3 vents. We happen to have that lantern hanging there, but yeah, 3 vents. And I think that keeps it cool. Let me get set up here again. So, I don't know what else I could answer about the teepee tent, but if I had to do all over again, I'd get one. I'd still buy one. And I plan on using this when I have visitors or if I'm on a trip and some of the junior rangers come with me, then we'll definitely bring this and use it, because then I'll have people to help me set it up. Not all that bad, but I'm pretty lazy nowadays, and I like things simple. Are there better tents out there? Sure. But for $50, as I said, hey, I don't think you can go wrong. You can stand up in the darn thing. I mean, I'm a towering 5'10", or I used to be. I think I'm still that. And I can stand up easily. I can jump up and down. I can't jump too high anymore, but I can still jump up and down in here. Anyway, we'll look at camp here in a little bit. I was thinking about bringing the Coleman stove in here. If the wind keeps up, I may do that because it's a little nippy out there. But otherwise, we're just going to lay around and not do a whole lot. I was going to go fishing, but I don't think I'm going to. I'll wait for the morning. Hopefully the wind will be gone and we'll be able to get out and try to catch some fish. As I said, this lake, I guess most all the lakes, are extremely low. The washers, none of the washers, of course, are running. There's been no rain, miserable participation for somewhere around 100 days in the Phoenix area, and more than that in Cave Creek and some of the other outlying areas. And it's been awful, awful hot. So it's been a bad summer, a great summer not to be here. And well, let's see what the weather's like tomorrow and see how lazy I am, and maybe we'll get out there and try to catch some fish. Hey, check this out. Oh, excuse the messy hair, but look what I just did. So I'm gonna get the camera down here to show you. Yes, you're right. It's popcorn, and it's not too bad actually, and it's with cast iron. One thing about that cast iron skillet, or pot, or whatever the heck it is, it's hard to shake. So I'm gonna have to go to Goodwill and find something else to make popcorn in. Another thing that I did tonight, or got back, is I got a message back from Debbie on the spot. We don't have any cell phone coverage out here, but I tell you what, this thing is definitely worth it. I know there's other ones out in the market, and there's a new one, I can't recall the name of it. Might be pretty good too. But I'm happy with the spot. I started using it, not this one, but another one last year with the Forest Service. And I figured if the Forest Service bought it, never mind. But it worked out well anyway. So I'm going to, I just finished heating up dinner. That was pretty amazing. I used a fry pan to cook up some old turkey. Everybody's got turkey this time of year. Might as well eat it. So I'm going to have a little bit of coffee. Maybe walk around a little bit with Jorah. Get a little exercise before we go in. And get the pot ready for coffee in the morning. I was going to bring this in, but since I made this dummy popcorn, I'll just bring it in and leave the kitchen out like it is. Kitchen's worked out well. I'm pleased with it. So anyway, oh, that coffee is getting ready. Gotta go. Well, that popcorn was pretty good. I'm a little surprised. Anyway, we're inside now. Sounds like maybe the wind's letting up a little bit, but it's going to be getting dark pretty soon. So we're going to hang out inside and just, actually what I'm going to do, most of you probably haven't done this in a very long time. I'm going to play a game of solitaire, but I'm using a deck of cards. So for those of you who might be quite a bit younger than me, and it's pretty much all of you probably that are watching, deck of cards, pretty handy to have on a camping trip. Hope that it lets up a little bit tomorrow. I really do want to try to get some fish. Meanwhile, we've got Mr. Buddy going right now, and it's plenty warm in here. It certainly does a good job. But in a little while, I'm going to put on the lantern, and the lantern is up there, so to keep looking up at. And that'll also keep it pretty warm in here. And it'll provide some light. My gosh. It's about 10 o'clock, and I have never ever had the wind blow like this. At least that I've been in the old teepee tent. Well, they say it was going to be high winds, and that's for sure. Well, I think that's enough of that. Let's listen to the coyotes if we can. Here comes the wind again. Well, I hope you don't come with me on these videos to watch me catch fish, because so far that hasn't happened. We just came back into the tent. The wind has not let up much, and it is a cold wind for here. If I had my winter hunting clothes from Montana, I suppose it would be really nice, but I don't. So we spent a couple, 3 hours out there trying our best, and really didn't do much. Very difficult to even cast in the wind. So Jorah had fun though. You saw how he got to run around and play, and I'm glad to see that. So I think what I'll do is spend this afternoon, unless the wind lets up. If it does, we'll try to get out there again. Otherwise, relax, maybe start to edit this video, and just be glad we're here. It's fun to use the teepee tent, and it sure held up well last night in that wind. Well, it's quite a day. Jorah and I ended up taking the truck and exploring some of the countryside. It's a pretty nice country. The lake is a little busier than I imagined it to be, even in the middle of the week. But as I mentioned earlier, we're very close to a large metropolitan area, and I guess you would expect that. I just sent and received a message from home on the spot, and I just can't tell you how happy I am with the performance of this thing. I know there are other ones on the market, as I mentioned, but the little spot works really well. And obviously the main reason for it is to ask for help if I fall on my butt. But it's also a peace of mind for me to know everything's going okay at home, as well as home knowing everything is going okay here. And it'll probably be even more important when the junior rangers go on patrol with me this summer. I'm going to get back to my book. It's John Sanford book, and boy, they're good. And once I get going on it, it sort of ruins the rest of the day. But that's okay. Gonna get up tomorrow morning, get things packed up, and head out. And maybe something exciting will happen tonight. Let's hope there's no more wind. Good night. Well, that about wraps it up for today's trip, or this trip. It's our third day. I didn't tape any of our packing up. I didn't think that was all that interesting for you to see. But boy, it was cold last night. We were headed back. I'm definitely going to come back here in the spring when it gets a little warmer maybe. And there's lots of other lakes to explore and things to do. So I'll be checking those out. And pretty soon I'll be able to get back on the trail and do a little bit of hiking as well. I'm looking forward to that. So I want to thank you for coming with us on this trip. Please subscribe if you like this, you want to see more of what I'm doing. And remember, keep hiking.